Must be incredibly impressed by what you saw out there tonight.
Yeah, proud, impressed. Proud more than anything. Just, that we stuck tight, good connection, and it sort of came together on a big stage. Last time we played on a big stage, we learnt a fairly important lesson, and I thought we responded really well tonight. There's not much bigger than what we went up against. Carlton are a fantastic side, and Thursday night footy with every single football person in the state, there was a fair bit going on. And so I thought our group handled it so maturely, the way they balanced their intensity with just their composure. I thought right across the board tonight, we showed every facet. We fought early. The contest was huge for us. And then we knew what would come because Carlton are a great footy side. We knew they'd come hard, and we just weathered the storm and battled and fought and did everything we possibly could to not let them get back in it. And then we finished the game off so well. So, really pleased with where the group's at.
So it came together tonight, as you mentioned. Do you feel like it's also coming together big picture, the long bit that you've been talking about as well?
Yes, but we felt that for a long period of time, and I've mentioned you can be improving out of sight, but not see results. You can be improving off field, on field, but not getting wins, and we've been doing that now for a number of years, and sometimes the noise about that is that you're no good. They're not. We're improving. Our squad is so strong at the moment, and I don't want our guys to hide from that. I want them to enjoy and embrace form. I mentioned it during the week. Form's fickle, and we know it can disappear really quickly. So we want our group to remain really confident and believe in themselves. And I thought that's what you saw tonight. A group that just believe in what they're doing, and they just put it together. Now, that's our challenge, to do it again.
That's Adelaide's best footy, that first quarter, since the 2017 preliminary final. And you talk about embracing what's going on now. It will start, the outside noise and the expectations will now start going up. Yeah. Do you have to manage that, or have you got a sense that you're ready for whatever is to come?
I don't think we have to manage that. We've got a very high quality group of men that have humility. They understand. They've got a really good balance, the way they go about things. They enjoy footy. It was talked about a lot this week. Our boys are just loving their footy. They're enjoying it. They're celebrating. We want them to stay in that space. The danger with that is you can be labelled a bit, look at them getting ahead of ourselves. They're not ahead of themselves. They're just enjoying footy. So we're trying to embrace that. We've seen teams of late that are doing that in the competition at the moment, and we're probably trying to take a leaf out of their book. So we'll continue to try and back ourselves in and believe in ourselves, but we also understand that the challenges just keep coming every week. Our next game, we go to Tassie. It's a hard place to play footy and win. They're a good side, really good side when they play down there. So we get a longer week, we get a rest that we need. 5 days break into this one. That added to the reason I'm so proud was 5 days, and they came out and brought that first quarter.
Probably the biggest, game that you've had outside of a showdown since you've been in the club, to come out and perform the way that you did in the first quarter and then hold on and, survive, when Carlton came at you. What does that do for the confidence of, your younger players?
It adds to it. Confidence, belief, there's a number of words in it. Cohesion and connection, and we've got players that we've just had a 5-minute chat about the game briefly, and we've got players that are happy to not touch the footy for a quarter if they're playing their role. That's a really good space to be in. That's how connected they are at this point. I would say some of the teams that we admire the most, Melbourne and what they've done in recent years, and Richmond at their best, and they had that. We've still got a fairly long way to go to get to the levels they were, and we understand that. But we're going to ride this wave while we can, and I've got no doubt our guys will continue to perform consistently. The effort's always been there. We've never lacked effort. Now we've just started to get a little bit more maturity about how we play our footy.
Matthew, you mentioned the maturity. You've got one of the youngest lists in the competition. I suppose how significant a step is tonight, considering the occasion, the opponent, the age of your list?
Yeah, well, and I think you've nailed it. The occasion is, it's a Thursday, a gather round that we've never seen before. I've never seen so many people. We had Guy Sebastian in the rooms. Even I lost my composure for 5 or 10 minutes. It was photos and autographs, and I do love him. But our players just remained focused and smiled their way through. We had a stage on the oval. A lot of our guys have never played a game where there's a stage on the oval. Some have, but it's pretty rare. And even, you know, we're walking around in the pre-game thing, and the question you have as a coaching group is, you just don't know, you know, what sort of energy you can burn in a lead into a game like this. But that adds to the win. The fact that our guys were able to come out like they did. They hadn't burned any energy. They were ready, you know, led by, I think, Laddie just, I'm not sure how he did that in the first quarter. He had sort of game stats at quarter time. So, you know, he's led the way, and as he has done for a while.
Matthew, the senior players, a lot of whom, even from 2017, Laird, Walker, etc., are they revitalised somewhat by the youth? Is that what you think's happened? They've got a peck up, and their game's gone up a level from where it was even a year ago?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, they've all performed well over the last, since I've been at the football club. I'd say Tex has played some of his best football, so has Laddie. You know, Brodie Smith behind the ball. So they've been playing really good football for a long time, but I've got no doubt that they're feeling the enthusiasm of a young group, and they're actually excited about some of these young guys that they're playing with. Not some of them, all of them. But when you've got guys that have come into the club like Josh Rochelli and Jake Saligo and Max Michaelani, just to name a couple, I think that does, you know, for someone like a Taylor Walker and Rory Laird, they'll get excited by that. They also know how important those guys are, that it's got to be every single player, you know, on board with what our values are and the way we go about things, and so they're driving that standard on and off the field.
And how was Isaac this week after what he'd been through?
I can't tell you how Isaac is. I can only tell you our conversations. He's reasonably happy in the rooms at the moment, but I've got no doubt he's had a tough week. You know, there's a lot that's been spoken about it, but I can't tell you how he feels, other than he's 100%, he knows he's got support of everyone at this footy club, and he has said that to me. And I think today he was a really important part of what we did, so he's able to, you know, push that to us to the side and perform the way he did tonight.
Did you do anything different to get the players, I guess, prepared for how big of an occasion it would be tonight?
No, we didn't. We went reasonably standard. We spoke about, I mean, we acknowledged the fact that we would need to be mentally flexible, that there were going to be some things pop up like Guy in the change rooms and, you know, the lead-in, the traffic that was around. It was a big stage. So we acknowledged all of that. We spoke about it during the week, and yesterday our captain's run, and we said just be mentally flexible, just come and understand things are going to happen, and you've just got to, it's the way you react to them, and our guys reacted really well to that. I can't guarantee you we'll do that every time, but this is a great step for us, you know, to be able to play a big stage and get it done. We haven't done it since I've been at the footy club. Showdowns.
Jordan Dawson spoke earlier this week and said that the midfield move came probably quicker than he expected this season. I mean, for you, what predicated that, and how impressive you've been since he's gone in there?
Look, the reason Dorsey's in there was really for our game, to complete our game. We had some issues in the first couple of rounds in particular areas, and you know, Jordan moving was more about those issues. I don't want to go into too much detail on that, but you know, we've improved our intercept game out of sight. I mean, tonight I think it might have been 10 goals to 2 off intercept. Now that against a team like Carlton, that's a massive result for us. Same amount of intercepts, and we knocked 10 through, and they knocked 2. Ned Geordie has a lot to do with that. He's a very balanced player, very aware, sees the game, plays ahead of the game. He's an on-field leader. And so a position for him in the midfield allows him to do that at another level than what he does when he's behind the ball. He's not the only one. Rory Sloane at the moment's playing some outstanding football, even if maybe it's not 35 possessions. His shape and what he does from a leadership point of view, it basically complements Jordan.
So the 62 points conceded tonight, a season low for you. How proud are you of your defensive unit going up against the Curnow, Mackay, those guys down there?
Yeah, well, at half time we came in and that was where we went straight away as a coaching group and made sure that our players knew it. They just never give up. We didn't want to give up score. Now, that was across the board. Again, I don't want to talk about too much of what we do in-house, but I can tell you there's a few happy boys in that room at the moment that the number was 62. And that number's a lot more important than the number we put up.
A couple of years ago, Nick Murray was on a tractor out of the farm. I mean, how have you made of his rise? He looks a lot more comfortable now at AFL level.
Hard work, same as he probably did on the farm. He's just worked and worked. He's so raw. He's still so raw. There's so much he's still working on, so he's still got a hell of a lot of upside. But he's an athlete. He's a strong, powerful young man, and he had to be that tonight. There's no tougher job. And so, there were I thought they had some great battles. One-on-one, I thought he performed really well.
So you talk about being mentally flexible coming into this game. What impressed you more? The fact that you blitzed them so comprehensively in that first quarter, or the fact that they were always going to come back at you and you still run out by 56 points?
Only because it's where we lean as a coaching group. I was more impressed with the fact that we held our nerve when we were challenged, which we knew was going to come. They're too good. There's a reason they sit up the top. And so we knew that was coming. It was like, okay, at quarter time, sometimes you shake your head at some of the things that play out. But our guys, they do value that ability to get in the face of the opposition, and things fell our way. We were playing outstanding footy, but we were on. Everything bounced our way, and you come in at quarter time and you say, okay, that's probably not going to continue for 4 quarters. So really proud that they hung on. I think the inside 50s were nearly the same in the end. So, and that's team. It's not just our back 6 or 7. That's team, and that's that flexibility we were talking about.
Is this the best, I guess, 2-3 weeks that you've seen from Chase Jones since you've been at the club?
Yeah, definitely. I actually went up to him at the end of the game. I said, I'm not sure you realise how many times you touched the footy tonight. And it's been something that Chase has had as a work on, his ability to impact the game on multiple occasions when it's his turn. He's always been an unbelievable role player for us. No one works harder, or maybe Lockie Scholl. But Chase, he just works up and down the ground, plays an important role in everything we do. And tonight was a night where when it's his turn to impact, he impacted and ended up with 28, did he? 28 or maybe 30? Would have been nice if he got 30. Just nice reward for a guy that is going to do it all day. And again, I'll go back to the best teams in the competition. They have players like Chase Jones that value their role and play it, and it's not about possessions, but tonight is just a little reward for him.
That's the second time Ben Keys has got a hold of Adam Saad, which is a pretty big scalp, especially against Carlton. Just a word on what he did for you, especially early, sort of that defensive forward role, and he still gets 3 goals.
Yeah, it's a really important role because Saad he's such a important and impactful player. If you give him any space, he'll cut you up. And so last time we had success with that with Keysy, and so we went back to it this week. He's unique, Ben Keys, and he loves that sort of stuff. That's what he's passionate about. Yeah, I think he'd probably prefer to play on ball and just free run, but he's so good at the positions or the roles he's playing at the moment. And so when you see a name like Saad there, it's really important that we don't allow him free rein. For Ben to be able to do that, that's so good for our footy side.
Do the players get a few days off?
I give them Wednesday off, actually. Wednesday off. 62 points.
Sorry, they only get the one and they're not encouraged at all to get involved and gather around, whatever that looks
Oh no,
like.
the boys have been well and truly involved in gather round. So there's clinics tomorrow. We had a clinic yesterday that the guys ran and a signing session, and I've got no doubt the guys are going to hang around and enjoy the festivities. Makes it a lot more enjoyable too after tonight. But no, there's a lot going on. Driving in today, the stuff that was on the riverbank, and Adelaide's rocking.
So you basically gave them a deal at half time. You get them to a certain score, you get a day off. Was it?
We at the end of the game we had a chat around a couple of things, yeah. But we had a 10-day break this week, so there's a fair bit of flexibility in what we can. They don't know that, so don't tell them. Thanks, guys.